In 2011, in the quiet city of Gary, Indiana, a family reported bizarre and terrifying occurrences inside a small rented home on Carolina Street. What began as odd happenings spiraled into one of America's most chilling and well-documented paranormal cases. The Demon House of Gary, Indiana. Police officers, social workers, and hospital staff became witnesses to events that defied reason, including claims that a young boy walked backward up a wall in plain view of medical professionals. What follows is a first-hand account that tries to piece together what went on behind those haunted doors, and why the house still chills those who dared step inside. They say a house only feels wrong if you still notice every creak. In garyindiana, I learned that silence is far, far worse. I was a rookie social worker, barely a year out of college, when they sent me with Detective Owens and ADCS caseworker, Carla, to the little rental on Carolina Street. Most of the town called it the Demon House, though no one ever said it to our faces. Some said a boy had walked up the walls at the hospital. Others muttered about strange footprints in the snow outside. But none of that had seemed real until I smelled the place. It wasn't just rotten food or mildew. The moment we crossed the threshold, a heavy, cloying sweetness, mingled with something sharp and cold, drifted up, as if the air itself were suffocating you. I remember Carla coughing, fiddling with her clipboard, eyes darting quickly to the corners, as if expecting to see something moving in the gloom. The family, LaToya, her mother, and her 3 children were already packed, jittery and silent on the battered couch. LaToya stared at her hands, twisting them so hard her knuckles paled. The youngest, a boy about 9, didn't look up. Sweat dotted his scalp despite the chill, and he rocked a little, muttering something under his breath. Slowly, the sense of unease turned into a prickling dread that seemed to settle on my skin, soaking through my shirt. It began simply enough. Questions. No. Then, from somewhere in the kitchen, came a scraping like nails dragging across the inside of a vent. I tried to brush it off, but my ears strained for every little sound. The faint, distant hum, the occasional soft thump upstairs, always followed by silence, deeper than before. Then the lights flickered. The room froze. Every clock in the house ticked out of sync, jittery and arrhythmic. LaToya winced and buried her face. Carla whispered, "Do you feel that?" All the while pretending to write. That's when the boy Ammon stopped muttering and began to speak, his voice a strange monotone. It was soft, at first, but the words felt jagged, stilted, almost backward. I caught half-freezes. "He's here, under the stairs." I shivered, realizing my hands had numbed. Owens had enough, and followed the sound down to the pitch-black basement. The mother insisted we didn't go, but protocol is protocol. I hesitated on the threshold as Owens' flashlight clacked on. The stairs groaned beneath my weight. The air down there was thin and dry, yet it stuck in my throat like syrup. Carla waited above, wringing her hands. At the bottom, broken shelves leaned against the wall, and an old mattress slumped in the corner, crawling with flies no matter the season. Owens muttered to stay close, but I didn't dare move. Something scratched from behind the stairs, sharp and insistent. Then it was only when I ascended again, legs aching, that I realized the silence wasn't empty. It pressed around us, thick as a blanket. Upstairs, the boy was no longer on the couch. Carla's face twisted in panic. She'd been staring at the wrong child. We found him in the main bedroom, standing perfectly still, eyes wide and rolling. He was speaking again, low and rhythmic. Without warning, he turned his body and moved slowly, at first, then impossibly fast up the wall, backward. His hands never left his sides. He reached the ceiling, pressed flat for a moment like a beetle, before dropping to the floor with a dull, sickening thud. I wanted to run, but my legs locked up. My skin stung, as if tiny claws scraped down my spine. The boy lay still, then giggled a sound that didn't sound like a child's laughter at all. The entire family fled the next day. The hospital staff who witnessed the incident refused to discuss it, and the police report left out the worst details. No one wanted to admit what they'd seen. A week later, I sat in my car outside the house, engine running, steeling myself to go back for paperwork I'd forgotten. For a moment, the world was still no birds, no traffic, just the faint hum of the street. In one upstairs window, I saw Ammon's silhouette, perfectly still in the dark, head cocked at an angle no neck should allow. He stared at me for a moment that felt like a lifetime. Then, slowly, the curtain lowered itself, despite no one visible to touch it. I never went inside again, and I still dream of that suffocating sweet rot. Some nights, I see a shadow crawling across my ceiling, moving backward, searching for the stairs.